If I told you that somewhere in the English countryside, there's a team of 60 craftspeople who will spend the next 6 to 7 months of their lives building a single car just for you? Not an assembly line, not robots. Actual human hands, touching every single inch of what will become one of the most exclusive automobiles on Earth. This is how Rolls-Royce builds a Phantom. And trust me, after you see this process, you'll understand exactly why this car costs over $500,000 before you even open the options list. Welcome to Goodwood, England, a 42-acre estate tucked into the rolling hills of West Sussex, where approximately 2,400 employees craft what many consider the pinnacle of automotive luxury. This isn't just a factory. Sir Nicholas Grimshaw designed this facility to blend seamlessly into the English countryside, because even the building where these cars are made has to meet Rolls-Royce standards. Every single Rolls-Royce motor car in the world, whether it's the Ghost, Cullinan, Spectre, or the flagship Phantom, is born right here, nowhere else. And while other manufacturers boast about their high-tech automation, Rolls-Royce does something radical. They let humans do the work. Here's the thing that'll blow your mind. Building a standard Phantom takes roughly 6 months. But if you're commissioning something truly bespoke, you're looking at 8, 10, sometimes 12 months or more. Because at Rolls-Royce, time isn't money. Time is a tool. Now let's break down exactly what goes into creating automotive perfection, one step at a time. Section 1. The architecture of luxury. Before a single piece of leather is cut or a drop of paint is mixed, your Phantom begins its life as raw aluminum. The Phantom is built on what Rolls-Royce calls the architecture of luxury, a proprietary all-aluminum space frame that took years to develop. This isn't your average car platform. It's a structure of extruded aluminum beams, bulkheads, and longitudinals, with lightweight castings for the complex components. Why aluminum? Because it allows Rolls-Royce to create a vehicle that weighs approximately 5,644 pounds while maintaining extraordinary rigidity. That rigidity is crucial. It's what allows the famous Magic Carpet Ride suspension to work its magic without any chassis flex interfering with your comfort. The space frame components arrive at Goodwood and are carefully assembled by experienced workers, not robots. Factory staff finish welding the entire body of the car by hand before it moves to the main assembly line. This human touch ensures that tolerances are monitored with obsessive precision. Think about that. In an age where Tesla and other manufacturers brag about their robot army, Rolls-Royce is doubling down on human craftsmanship. And that's not because they can't afford automation. BMW owns this company. It's because they believe machines can't replicate the intuition and care of a master craftsperson. Section 2. The paint, where time slows down. How many paint colors do you think are available for your car? 100, 200, try 45,000. Rolls-Royce offers an almost incomprehensible palette of over 45,000 colors, and if none of those satisfy you, they'll create something entirely new. The painting process alone takes between 30 and 40 days. Yes, over a month, depending on the complexity of the finish. Every Phantom body is painted in multiple layers, usually 7 or more, with curing, sanding, and polishing between each coat. Up to 100 pounds of paint can be applied before the final polishing phase begins. And that polishing? It's done by hand. Each car is sanded and polished for at least 4 hours by 4 skilled associates who use special lighting to hunt for microscopic imperfections. But here's where it gets truly extraordinary. That thin, elegant pinstripe running from headlamp to rear fender, the famous coach line. It's painted entirely by hand, by one person, in the entire world. His name is Mark Court, and he's been the sole coach line painter at Rolls-Royce since 2003. Using a brush made from squirrel hair, Court spends 2 to 4 hours painting a single line that measures just 2 to 3 millimeters wide across the car's entire 6-meter length. There's no guide, no stencil, no do-overs. If he makes a mistake, the entire car has to be repainted. Court has painted over 5,000 Rolls-Royces, and he claims he can recognize every single one just by looking at his coach line. That's the kind of artisan pride money literally cannot buy, but it's what your money pays for. Section 3. The Spirit of Ecstasy. The most recognizable hood ornament in automotive history has a secret love story behind it. The Spirit of Ecstasy, that iconic figurine of a woman leaning forward with arms outstretched, has been gracing Rolls-Royce radiators since 1911. But few people know she was modeled after Eleanor Velasco Thornton, the secret mistress of Lord Montague of Beaulieu. Sculptor Charles Robinson Sykes created the original piece called The Whisper, depicting Eleanor with her finger to her lips, symbolizing their forbidden love. When Rolls-Royce commissioned an official mascot, Sykes used Eleanor as his muse once again, transforming her into the Spirit of Ecstasy we know today. Each Spirit of Ecstasy is individually installed and inspected for perfection. And here's a detail that shows Rolls-Royce's obsessive attention. The mascot sits on a spring-loaded mechanism, so if anything touches her, she gracefully retracts into the hood to prevent damage or theft. They call this elegant movement the rise. Section 4. The Leather, a Story of Perfection. The leather in your Phantom comes from bulls raised in climates too cold for mosquitoes, and there's a very good reason for that. Rolls-Royce doesn't use just any leather. They source their hides exclusively from bulls, never cows, raised at high altitudes in Europe. Why bulls? Because female cows develop stretch marks during pregnancy, which would compromise the leather's flawless surface. Why high altitude? Because the cold climate means no mosquitoes, which means no insect bites marring the hide. Each Phantom interior requires approximately 15 to 20 of these European bull hides. That's about 807 square feet of material. Before a single hide enters the production process, it's meticulously inspected for any imperfection whatsoever. A tiny scar? Rejected. An insect bite mark? Rejected. Barbed wire scratch? You guessed it, rejected. The hides are pre-shrunk and drum-dyed for even distribution of color, softer feel, and longer life. This hand-stitched leatherwork takes approximately 2 weeks per vehicle, with craftspeople spending hours ensuring every stitch is precise and every surface is immaculate. The leather is then drum-dyed using a barrel process that creates rich, uniform pigmentation while maintaining that natural softness that other luxury cars simply cannot match. And all of this happens in Rolls-Royce's dedicated leather shop, where specialists work under special lighting designed to reveal even the slightest flaw. Section 5. The wood, your tree, your car. Want the wood in your dashboard to come from a specific tree you picked yourself? Rolls-Royce will make it happen. The woodwork in a Rolls-Royce Phantom isn't just beautiful, it's personal. All veneer parts used in any single motor car come from the same tree, with colors, patterns, and grains that give each car its own unique fingerprint that cannot be precisely replicated. This ensures all wood parts age consistently, an important consideration when many Rolls-Royces are passed down through generations. Clients can select from around 30 different wood types, with different stains, overlays, and treatments offering endless possibilities. But here's where bespoke reaches another level. If you want a specific wood not in their catalog, Rolls-Royce will send a specialist anywhere in the world to find it. Consider the Koa Phantom built for collector Jack Boyd Smith Jr. He wanted Koa wood, a rare species that grows only in Hawaii and takes 50 years to mature. A Rolls-Royce wood specialist traveled to Hawaii and spent years searching for the perfect log. They described finding it as a 1 in a million chance. Once the veneers arrive at Goodwood, they're stored in a climate-controlled humidor at exactly 73 degrees Fahrenheit and 75% humidity for a minimum of 3 days. This prevents cracking and keeps the wood flexible enough for the complex curves Rolls-Royce interiors demand. Specialists then align grains and patterns to create a single perfect line running through the entire motor car. Straight-grained woods are matched in a chevron pattern at a precise 55-degree angle. The finished panels receive multiple layers of lacquer, each only 0.3 millimeters thick, before being hand-sanded and polished to a mirror shine. This woodworking process alone takes approximately 16,000 hours to master. That's 4 years of full-time work just to become qualified. Section 6. The Starlight Headliner. Imagine looking up at the night sky while cruising down the highway. Now imagine that sky is inside your car. The Starlight Headliner might be the most magical feature in any Rolls-Royce. This option transforms your roof into what appears to be a star-filled night sky, and the process to create it is almost impossibly labor-intensive. First, the leather headliner is perforated with between 800 and 1,600 holes, each carefully counted and positioned. Then, 1,340 fiber optic cables are hand-woven through these holes by craftspeople in the Rolls-Royce leather shop. Each fiber must be the correct height on the concealed side while being perfectly set on the visible surface. The result is pure magic. Tiny points of light that simulate stars, adjustable to create just the right ambiance. Some customers even commission custom constellations, including their birth chart or a specific night sky from a meaningful moment in their lives. Section 7. The Heart, the V12 engine. Now let's talk about the power plant that makes this 5,600-pound land yacht move like a whisper. At the heart of every Phantom sits a 6.75-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine. This masterpiece produces 563 horsepower and an astounding 664 pound-feet of torque, available at just 1,700 RPM. That low-end torque is crucial. It means effortless acceleration without the engine ever having to raise its voice. The engine is carefully assembled by experienced workers at Goodwood. Once completed, it's attached to an 8-speed automatic transmission and rear-wheel drive system that's been tuned specifically for Rolls-Royce's signature driving character. Despite weighing nearly 6,000 pounds fully loaded, the Phantom accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.6 seconds. But acceleration isn't the point. The point is silence. At highway speeds, the cabin is so quiet you can hear yourself think. The V12 is engineered to be whisper quiet, producing power so smoothly that the tachometer is the only way to know the engine is even running. The engine installation process, called the marriage, is when the powertrain meets the body for the first time. Workers carefully lift the engine and make all necessary connections by hand, treating this moment with almost ceremonial reverence. Section 8. The Magic Carpet Ride. Rolls-Royce doesn't just claim to have the smoothest ride in the world, they engineered it from the future. The Magic Carpet Ride isn't marketing hyperbole. It's the result of extraordinary engineering called the planar suspension system. This system doesn't just react to the road, it predicts what's coming and prepares for it. Here's how. Forward-facing cameras scan the road ahead for imperfections like potholes and bumps. Meanwhile, satellite-assisted GPS data tells the suspension about upcoming curves and elevation changes. All this information feeds into an adaptive damping system that adjusts in real time, millisecond by millisecond, to keep the cabin perfectly level. The upper wishbone damper, positioned above the front suspension, absorbs tiny vibrations that most people wouldn't even notice. The self-leveling air suspension automatically adjusts based on passenger weight and cargo, maintaining perfect balance regardless of conditions. The result? Sitting in a Phantom feels like floating. Potholes disappear, speed bumps become gentle suggestions. The suspension is hand-assembled and fine-tuned by skilled engineers who ensure every joint and connection operates without friction or noise. Section 9. Final Inspection. Only perfection. After 6 months of work by 60 pairs of hands, there's one final test: perfection. Every Rolls-Royce passes through the hands of approximately 60 highly skilled craftspeople before reaching its owner. But before delivery, each car undergoes the most rigorous quality inspection in the automotive industry. First comes the road test, where engineers evaluate every aspect of the driving experience. Then there's acoustic testing. They measure cabin silence to ensure that signature tranquility meets standards. The monsoon test subjects the car to water sprayed from all directions, simulating the most extreme wet conditions imaginable. Workers then crawl inside, checking every door seal and window for even the slightest water ingress. Cosmetic inspection happens under special lighting designed to reveal microscopic imperfections invisible to the naked eye. Inspectors check the exterior body, door frames, metalwork, interior surfaces, and every single function. 60 quality checkpoints in total. If anything fails to meet the standard, the car goes back. There are no exceptions, because at Rolls-Royce, shipping a car that's 99% perfect means shipping a failure. Section 10. The numbers that matter. Let's put this entire process into perspective with some numbers that really drive home the craftsmanship. Production element. Time/specification. Total build time. 6 to 7 months, standard. 8 to 12 plus months, bespoke. Craftspeople involved. Approximately 60 per vehicle. Bull hides per interior. 15 to 20 hides, approximately 807 square feet. Leather work duration, 17 days minimum. Paint options available, 45,000 plus colors. Paint application time, 30 to 40 days. Fiber optic lights, Starlight, 800 to 1,600 holes, 1,340 cables. Wood types available, 30 plus custom sourcing. V12 engine output, 563 horsepower/664 pound-feet torque. Curb weight, approximately 5,644 pounds. Base price 2025, $517,750. Fully loaded price, $750,000 to $1 million plus. These aren't just statistics. They represent hundreds of thousands of hours of accumulated skill, tradition stretching back over a century, and an unwavering commitment to a single idea: that some things in this world should be made as well as humanly possible, regardless of how long it takes. Conclusion. And that's how a Rolls-Royce Phantom is made. Not on an assembly line, not by robots, by human beings who have dedicated their lives to mastering crafts that most of the world has forgotten. Painting, woodworking, leathercraft, and engineering so precise it borders on obsession. When you buy a Phantom, you're not just buying a car, you're buying 6 months of someone's life. You're buying Mark Court's steady hand painting your coach line. You're buying the expertise of woodworkers who spent 4 years just learning their trade. You're buying leather from bulls raised in mosquito-free climates, so your seats don't have a single blemish. Is it excessive? Absolutely. Is it unnecessary? Probably. But is it extraordinary? Without question. Over 65% of all Rolls-Royces ever built are still operational today, a testament to what happens when you refuse to compromise, when you build something right the first time, when you measure time not in minutes saved, but in generations served. CTA. So here's my question for you. After seeing this entire process, which part of the Phantom's construction impressed you the most? Was it Mark Court's hand-painted coach line, the 6 months of meticulous craftsmanship, or maybe those 1,340 fiber optic stars in the headliner? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one. If this video gave you a new appreciation for what true luxury manufacturing looks like, smash that like button. It helps more people discover this channel. And if you want to see more deep dives into how the world's most extraordinary products are made, from supercars to private jets to mega yachts, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.